Alright, here's my final video talking about my experiences working on RocketJump's Anime Crimes Division. This time we're going to focus on episode 3. This set for Joe's apartment was great. There was so much weeb shit everywhere. I was like, man, what is this, my apartment? The Gundam coming out of the table, there was nothing there. So that was cool getting to see that in the final edit, seeing the special effect of the robot coming up from the table. Those special effects wizards over there at RocketJump are dope as hell. Also, this scene was the last scene we shot with Kirk as the chief. So it was a nice, calm, chill scene to end off on with Kirk. This scene with the police tape and finding the Gundam body was fun because the cars were just going around us like normal. At one point, I remember someone like went down the wrong way on a one-way, and some people like ran, be like, "You're going the wrong way!" in the middle of our shoot. I did not envy Riley having to hold fake vomit in her mouth in this scene and before spewing it. That seemed unpleasant, but she sold it very well. The scene where I shoot the gun was a lot of fun. We had to wear safety vests and be accompanied by a police officer who probably thought we were a bunch of dumbasses carrying around a real-looking gun underneath a bridge. But yeah, it was pedestrians walked by and were like, huh. And cars, I'm sure they thought it was very curious seeing me in a suit pretending to fire a gun in very wild directions. This little police station set was in the same building as the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And that was a fun little scene because behind us, all these extras and police officer outfits are kind of bustling about. But for such a short scene, it was funny just seeing how much they had to set up for that. Man, like, films are just crazy. So this episode is my absolute favorite to film because I got to have like 3 emotional breakdowns in it, which is a lot of fun to do. This scene going into Joe's apartment, finding the dead Gundam, was the last scene that I shot before the ending credits. So it was definitely a one to go out. We went out with a bang on that shoot. Where we go in, there was a green screen there, and actually someone on the set had a like red and blue flashing police light looking thing, so I think it added a lot to it. I remember asking Freddie while we were shooting this, like in a couple takes, like, you want to go 50% intensity or 100% intensity? And we tried different variations, but clearly the 100% intensity, and I could feel it, was the right decision.
Joe. Don't do this. We gotta bring this guy in by the book.
I only have one book on my shelf, and it's Death Note.
I just gotta say, that Death Note line is probably one of the best lines I'll ever get to say in my career. This final set, the detail was amazing. When I walked onto that set, I was like, holy shit, this looks good. The detail of like the manga pages everywhere and just the serial killer lair, it was so awesome. The lighting, man, when I was in that scene, I really felt in it because the set design was so good. This was shot on day 2, so this was like the second ever scene I had with Kurt, and so we went from meeting each other on day 1 and day 2, me screaming at him in a blind rage. It was a very interesting sort of emotional journey I took with him. And by the end, we're buddies at the ramen bar and at the apartment. So having this big old emotional scene at the second day of shooting was interesting. So in this scene, I'm breathing pretty heavily because I'm in, it's intense. I'm, but I started getting lightheaded almost because I was getting so into it, as an actor. But it was like, I remember like there were like 1 or 2 moments where I like forgot my lines for a second because like I was getting kind of like getting like a little too heated in the moment. But I think it helped with the performance, my sort of just intensity. And one thing I'll say about the Dominator, so to have the lights on it, you had to like press a button or something or a sensor to have the lights go on. But every time you turned it on, the voice would start going, and it'd be like in a Japanese voice, like saying a bunch of like a long ass string of dialogue, and it just became so funny because Freddy would be like, turn it on, and I'd turn it on, and it would just go through that entire chain of dialogue, and we'd just be like, all right, we just gotta wait till old Dominator here is done talking. But it looks good. It looks great. The gun looks great when it's lit up like that. But man, did we hear a lot of that polite Japanese female voice throughout that shoot. But yeah, getting to shoot a gun wildly under a bridge, getting to scream at a dead Gundam in my apartment, and getting to have an intense final showdown with the villain. Man, got an emotional roller coaster this episode. So from an acting standpoint, it was a goddamn treat. And Riley and Kirk also just nailed. Kirk is so good at the end with his intense villain speech, and Riley just, come on, Joe. She nails it. Everyone nails it in this episode. And now I'll answer some questions that people have about Anime Crimes Division. How long did filming take? Filming took 5 days. Pretty much 5 full 12-hour days. Who was the person who raised the morale at the set? Honestly, the morale was pretty high. I mean, I think everyone was in a good mood. I mean, Freddy's a very nice guy, so he tries to have everyone in a good mood, you know, keeps it light. I tried my best to, you know, be friendly and, you know, joke around. So I like to think I helped raise morale, but I think there wasn't much need because everyone was, I think, having a good time. Were all the costumes and props provided by RocketJump? Yes. I did not provide anything. Costuming, props, everything was all the fine people at RocketJump. They did a great job. What was your favorite reference? Ooh. I did like the Neon Genesis Evangelion line at the end.
This isn't you. Your heart is...
My heart is not a Gundam. It's not even you. It's the ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Complicated, sad, confusing, and fundamentally broken.
I felt that it was something almost I would say. I liked that a lot. Did you ever do anything improv or make up your own joke that wasn't on the script? No, pretty much stuck to the script. The only time we ever like deviated a little bit is if we felt like a certain line read was working. But that was more like a collaboration between me and Freddy as opposed to me improving something on the spot. I don't know. I feel weird like going like, I'm gonna jazz up the script with my own improvised lines. I don't think there was anything I improvised on my own. Because the script was strong. How does it feel to act a character out with choreography and everything? In terms of like hitting your mark and like pivoting and stuff, it's interesting, but it's pretty fun. It's like, I don't know, like almost like a game. Like you gotta hit the X and say your line. You know, I had a good time. Who got to keep the Super Saiyan Dark Magician card after the show was finished? I wish me, but probably just props. Man, I was tempted though. I was like, can I have one of those cards? But I didn't ask. Did you ever accidentally drop the prop gun? No, but there's a scene in this episode where I had to drop it. And I was like, should I really drop it? It's expensive, so I think we did it like once or something. Were you given a waifu pillow? No, I don't need one. I already have one. How badass did it feel to be in an intro song? Dream come true. I'm not exaggerating. That was like a bucket list goal. Everything's downhill from here. When is season 2? Who knows? We'll see. If you want a season 2, then tell Crunchyroll that you're interested. You know, the more attention the series gets and the more passion the fan base has, I think Crunchyroll will be more inclined to produce a season 2. So it's up to you. Go tweet at them or something. I don't know. Tell them you love Anime Crimes Division. You want more, goddammit. Alright, those are my thoughts on Anime Crimes Division. Thanks for watching. And I gotta say, it was an absolute privilege to be able to be part of this series. Getting to see like such a talented group of crew members and cast just working together so well and so efficiently and just so doing such dynamite work in like 5 days. For my first filming experience, it was a blessing. So thank you to RocketJump and Freddy and everyone for having me on board and guiding me through this. It was so much fun. And if you haven't seen it already, why did you watch this video? Go watch them right now, or go watch them again. Anime Crimes Division on RocketJump's channel, and season 2, here's hoping.